Good morning, guys. Welcome to the podcast, the Hardworking Parents Club. So today we're going to talk about how the exhausted parent survival guide and how you can do better. All right, with my host today, RJ Horner. Introduce yourself, RJ.
Hi, I'm RJ Horner, beacon of life and leadership. Glad to be here. Thanks, Curtis.
All right, awesome, RJ. Let's get into it. Hey there, super parents. Welcome to the Exhausted Parent Survival Guide. This podcast where we turn chaos into comedy and exhaustion into empowerment. I'm reading that. All right. Whether you're knee deep into toddler tantrums, navigating tween attitude zone, or just trying to survive another day of parenting, this episode is for you. So grab your favorite drink, coffee, wine, or whatever. Maybe if you have wine this early, I don't know. It could be later in the evening you're watching this.
That's it. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, for sure. All right. So let's dive in. So the first part here, we're going to talk about embracing the chaos. So you have kids, right, RJ?
Oh yeah, yeah. My kids are grown up now, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean I'm not a parent. And they're still kids no matter what, right? They're in
Yeah.
their adulthood, but they have that brings its own set of chaos as well.
So would you say it was trying to herd a herd of cats while being blindfolded when they're younger? Like when
Sure.
you're young
Yeah,
kids?
that's a good way to describe it. Yeah, you know what? There's no control. There's no rhyme or reason to parenthood, right?
Right.
You can read all the books you want. It still doesn't prepare you for what may happen.
That's right. But at least if you're reading the books and stuff, you got some knowledge
Oh,
of some sort of
absolutely.
how
I'm
to
not
deal
saying
with it.
don't read the books. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it doesn't matter what you read in the books. You're still going to, experience some unknowns and have to deal with that.
Yep. So some stuff to think about is like you can actually reframe what's happening with the kids and like kind of like think of it like you have a pile of laundry on the couch. You can call it like modern art or crumbs on the floor. It's a snack mosaic. Right? So whether you laugh at the mess or you lose it, it's up to you, right? And
Absolutely.
it,
It's all in your perspective, right? So
yeah,
and
for sure.
and yeah, as parents, we, tend to, but it's because we're dealing with all the stress of life as well.
Oh yeah, for
Right.
sure.
And you're right, by reframing it, by looking at it with a little bit of a lightheartedness. I used to love, Mad used to have a cartoon called The Lighter Side of Life.
Yep.
And it was all these jokes about, looking at things and just finding the laughter or the comedy in the situation. I mean, these were terrible situations.
Oh yeah, for
Finding the
sure.
comedy in the chaos, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and you can also help the kids just try and turn things to like a game, right? So instead of yelling at the kid, you made a mess. Say, "Hey guys, we're gonna do this little game. It's called Pick Up Clothes or something. Make up some name or something." And that could also be like an experience for the children where they are gonna have fun, but yes, they're doing something constructive for you to help you out, right?
Mhm. You found ways to gamify your relationship with your daughter.
Yep.
Maybe give an example or two of something you've turned into a game.
Well, usually, she lots of times she has to be on her like devices. So we've done like a countdown thing, and then say, "I bet you can't beat you to the door to get outside." And she's like, "All right, I gotta get going, get my boots on." And then instead of like being a grumpy person about it, she's like, "All right, I gotta do this, beat my dad or whatever, right?" And I
Mhm.
usually let her win just because it's fun for the kids, right?
If they lose all the time, they're not going to try and do it next time, right?
No, it's encouraging. It makes them have fun, and then you get out the door pretty quick. Go do whatever.
Mhm.
Like yesterday, we went out tobogganing in the evening because her best friend was here, and usually because they were not on their devices, they're actually building forts out of cardboard boxes because we bought some end tables that came in boxes. So the kids were designing them, and it was like pretty cool. They had a lot of fun. They were working on it all day long, and then they like did doors, windows. They put their stuff inside. It's kind of cool. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. And then tobogganing was pretty good. It's like packing snow. So there was a couple snowmen at the end of the hill, so the kids were trying to run into it. I don't know why. It was funny because the hill, and people put snowmen at the end.
Yep. Yep. Give them a target to aim for. So I'm not sure if that's my signal or yours that I've lost you there, Curtis. I seem to have a good signal. I think.
Sorry, yeah, our computer glitched out there. I was trying to
Gotcha.
reconnect again.
Well, we're still online. We're still recording. Let's keep moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. So, want to hear a dad or a joke?
Yeah, absolutely. Always. That's what
All
this
right.
show's all about.
Yeah.
Keeping the lighter
Why?
side, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Why did the mom bring a broom to the park?
Don't know.
Because she heard it was the only way to sweep her kids off their feet. All
Cute.
right, so let's move on to setting micro goals, which is so. But let's face it, surviving the day is a total valid goal. When you're overwhelmed, breaking tasks into small bite-sized pieces. Instead of cleaning the house, aim for clear off the kitchen counter. Instead of organizing the playroom, try to put all the Legos in one bin. And here's a pro tip: use timers. Set a time for 10 minutes and tackle one task. You'll be amazed at how much you can get done in a short burst of focused energy. And don't forget to celebrate your wins. Did you fold one load of laundry? High five yourself. Did you remember to pack the kids' lunch? You're basically a superhero. Any comments there, RJ?
Well, yeah, I was listening to an audio earlier this week, and it was about being productive versus
Yep,
being busy. And one of the key things was, stay on your feet, right?
yep,
We as parents, we look forward to those moments of rest, right? But we'll find if we're on our feet, we're going to notice those things around, those couple bits of laundry that are on the floor that could probably be put in a laundry basket.
yep,
Maybe there's dishes in the sink. We can get those done because we're on our feet, because we're active, right? Rather than and then um try to make a habit of not putting on the TV, right?
yeah,
Put
for
some
sure.
music on.
Yep,
Music will keep us motivated, it'll keep us entertained, and it doesn't require all of our attention, so that
yep,
we can do some of those tasks around the house and not feel stressed, or oh my God, I have to get this done so I can go watch some TV.
right.
Right? Especially in
Sure.
this world of PVR, where we can watch things on demand now.
Yep,
We don't have to be there at 4 o'clock to watch your favorite show. We can watch that, at 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
yep, yeah, for sure. It's easier that way, right?
Hmm.
All right, another joke here.
Yep.
Why did the mom bring a stopwatch to the grocery store?
Do you want to time how long it took?
That's good, but because she wanted to beat the clock before her toddler started asking for candy, which is quite the thing with children when they're young. They always want candy, right?
Okay. That listen, that I don't care what you bring. You're not going to stop your kid from wanting candy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Especially when they put it right at the front of the store before you check out.
Yeah, yeah. That's usually we try not to bring the kid shopping.
Absolutely. Yep.
Saves a couple bucks usually, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's go to the next part here. Finding your why. Why? Because when the going gets tough, reconnect with your why can give you motivation to keep you going. Take a moment to think about why you're doing all this. Maybe it's to raise kind, curious humans or to create a home filled with love, laughter. Write it down, stick it on the fridge, and make it on your phone lock screen. And don't forget to focus on little moments. Your baby's giggles, your toddler's silly jokes, or your teenager's rare moments of vulnerability. Those moments that make it all worth it.
Mhm.
So, what about
Yeah,
yourself, Roger?
I think you know what, and I jumped into a family, right? These are my
Yep,
stepkids, but I mean, again, I say I've been with them so long. These are my kids, right? This is my family. But I'll tell you, in the early days, it was kind of difficult to understand why I was doing this, right? I'm like, I
yep,
love their mother. That was a given. But she came with kids, and that was an adjustment for me,
yep,
right? These are not my born children. Now, you love your children when you're born with children. I think for most people it's an automatic, right?
yep.
um but there are people out there who don't, they didn't plan on having kids. It
No,
wasn't part of their program, so they had to find the reason. Why
right.
do you do this, right? And I think you pointed it out. You're right. Is finding the joy in those moments, right? Finding what it is about them that makes you happy, and then maybe live for those moments. Try to make them happy. Try to help them experience that love, that joy, that good times. It makes it a lot easier. You have a great
Mhm.
relationship with your daughter, I know.
Yep,
So, and that's all because you keep it fun, you keep it entertaining.
yeah, dude. Yeah, a lot of times, yeah, just think with nowadays with the phones, you can always take those moments instantaneous. Your phone's right nearby, and he's like, "Oh, I hate this." You just look at your phone. You can say, "Hey, remember this moment when the kid was doing this?"
And
And
so
it can
on
be
that
fun.
subject, we kind of stress out because our kids are always on their phones these days. They're always doing
Yeah,
stuff. But how about instead of getting upset at that, maybe join in with them on that, right?
yeah,
Yeah, you can text each other little comments or something, or send a GIF or a little funny video or something like that, something to make them laugh. And now mom and or dad is joining in with the fun. They're not getting mad and trying to take my phone away, right? So
yeah,
something that's a little bit different, a little better of an experience to change the tune of them playing with their cell phone too much.
yeah, for sure. Perfect. Yeah, it's good though. But then I guess, yeah, if you know why you're doing something, it makes a bigger difference, right? So
Hmm. Yeah.
absolutely.
And I
Like
think
even in,
love, I mean, we're all doing it for love, no matter what, right? Like, yeah, like whether you didn't plan on these kids or not, the love of those kids and the love that they give you back when
yeah,
things are going well is that's what we do it for, I think.
yeah, for sure. All right, let's move on to the next one. Taking a break. Let's. So yes, you're allowed to have a break. You can't pour from an empty cup. So give yourself permission to recharge. Schedule a break on your calendar, even if it's just 10 minutes
Oh,
for me. And you still hear me? You still good?
hmm.
Okay. It's just
Yep,
that
I think you
sometimes it
froze.
pauses for some reason. So what you can also do is
Hello, Curtis.
and pretend you're at a spa. Did you get any of that or no?
No, yeah, you completely drowned out
Yep.
there.
Yeah, it's something with my connection today. I don't know. Keeps on beep. All right. So anyway, so take 10 minutes for yourself. Sit down with a hot cup of coffee or tea because sometimes that can be rare as a busy parent. Delegate when you can. Ask your partner or friend or even a family member to watch the kids for an hour. And if you can't leave the house, take a mom timeout or dad timeout. Sit in the bathroom, lock the door, and put on some create like calming music so you get back to yourself. Right?
Or watch those funny videos, like I said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to find some joy sometime. But again, if you're a little more productive because you're not watching the TV when you come home, because that's the
Yeah.
habit is to turn the TV on once you get home, then you're distracted by TV. Then you find all of these things around you that are, that need to be done. But if when you come home, you make a habit of getting things done around the house and just enjoying that moment, then you'll be able to find more of those moments where you get to take 10 or 15 minutes for yourself.
Yeah. Perfect. That's good. All right. Here's another joke for us. Why did the mom hide in the pantry with a chocolate bar?
It was her sweet spot.
That's pretty good. Because it was the only place where she could eat without sharing. All right, let's move on to the next one. Laugh it off. That's what we do here. Laugh it off because sometimes it's that or cry. Share absurdity with a friend. Text them about ridiculous things that your kid just did. Watching funny parenting videos. Nothing put you on your own struggles in perspective like watching someone else's toddler throw a tantrum over the wrong color cup. And here's a fun idea. Make a funny moment journal. Write down the hilarious things your kids do or say. On tough days, reread it and remind yourself why it's all worth it. Have you ever had
Mm.
those moments, RJ?
Yeah, you know what? And I wish we'd kept journals because the kids. They I love Steve Harvey's show that used to be on TV. Kids say the darndest things.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
it was pretty funny. Yeah,
Because yeah, the kids will always surprise you with something. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And yeah, when you look back on them and laugh, absolutely. But if you could draw that, like write it down, like you say in a journal, and then call upon that at any given moment when you're feeling struggled, when you're feeling down about it. I think that would be a blessing for sure.
yeah, yeah, 100%. All right, cool. Let's go on. Do you want another joke, or you want to move on to the next point?
Entirely up to you.
Okay. Why did the toddler bring a banana to bed?
Use it as a telephone.
Because they heard it was a slippery slope to get a good night's sleep.
Oh my God.
All right. Let's ask some for help here. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of sanity. Being specific when you ask for help instead of saying, I need help. Try, can you watch the kids for an hour while I take a nap? Swap with other parents, offer to watch their kids in exchange for watching yours later. And if you can afford it, hire help. Your sanity is worth the investment. I think reframing of the help thing is a good idea because a lot of times people say, "Oh, they feel obligated." But if you say, "Hey, can you help me do this? I can help you later," it's like a win-win type thing. I
Hmm.
think you get more yeses out of it. Even as parents, like even business and other things in your life, it also applies here too. I think.
Yeah, like
What
an
about you?
exchange program. I love that.
Yep.
What a brilliant idea, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
you know what? Here, you do this for me, I'll do. We all have that, or we want that reciprocal relationship. You know what I mean? You do this for me now, I'll do this for you later. So
Yep.
this thought of, you know what? Hey, you know, let me take the kids to the park for 2 hours, and
Yep.
that's probably a better way to approach it, right? You know what? You recognize that your friend needs a break. Let me take the kids to the park for 2 hours. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And you can take them, somewhere else, or you can, have a overnight or something like that, so that there's
Yep.
that give and take. But approach it that, look, here, I'll help you out now, and that way, at some point soon, you can get that back from your friend or your family.
Right on. Cool. Cool. So, with on that point, let's celebrate some small wins. Why? Because they can add up. Celebrating, create a win jar. Write down all the small wins on slips of paper and put them in a jar. On tough days, pull one out to remind yourself how far you've come. Share your wins with a friend or parenting group. And don't forget to reward yourself. Did you survive the week of tantrums? Treat yourself to something special. What do you think about a win jar, RJ? Have you ever used it?
Um, no. So you're talking about putting away some funds every time you do something
Uh,
well, or
no, no. Let's
what do you
say
mean by a win jar?
So let's say the kid has a tantrum and you handle it, well, say on this date, say February 16th, I handled X tantrum by being calm and speaking clearly to the child without losing my mind, right?
Hmm.
Then you put that in a jar. So then say you have those once a week or twice a week, you have these wins, you put them all in the jar. So it's a win jar. So then let's say it's a tough day today. It's like, oh, pull this, like, oh yeah, I remember this day I did this. Okay, so you just use it as reminders of when you've done something fantastic with the child or you've handled something in a certain way that reminds yourself. Similar to our
Hmm.
journal, but it's just a
Hmm.
small piece of paper in a jar, and then you just ran. It's on your counter. You just go grab it and you look at it. It's like, oh yeah, reminder of yourself that hey, I can do this, or
Yeah,
you've done
definitely
it
the
before.
reminder helps, right? And I
Yep.
think I think from me, I would say keep it on the topic of a journal, right? Right,
Hmm.
you can have different categories in your journal. Write it down. Different days you've had this, or different days
Yep.
they made you laugh here, and keep it in a journal. So that that journal is always what you refer to.
Oh yeah, you
To each their
probably.
own. Yeah, the jar is a good idea as well. It's just
I
I
think yeah,
think
the jar is just like an instantaneous type of thing you
yeah.
do right away. It's right there. You don't have to go to your desk. Oh, look this thing. And you see the jar. It's like oh yeah, boom, there you go.
Yeah.
It's something. It's something to do, right? You can use the jars for other stuff too, right? It's it's fun. It's a fun way to do things, honestly. All right, ready for the joke?
Sure.
Why did the mom high five herself in the car?
Because there's nobody else there.
No, because she finally found the missing sippy cup, and it only took 3 weeks. Find it, find it.
Oh.
All right, this last segment here. This too shall pass. Remember, this too shall pass. Parenting is a series of phases, and no phase lasts forever. Focus on the present. When you're in the thick of it, remind yourself that this is just one moment in time. Look for growth. Notice how far your kids are, and yourself, of course, have come. And talk to other parents. Hearing that they are going through the same thing can be incredibly reassuring. So for me, we have a couple parents that we know, and a lot of times they do have similar stuff that reminds us that's like, oh yeah, it's all right, it's okay. This does happen. Not we're not the only one. and you know that it's happened to other people, or at some point, you know, the two terrible twos. Almost, I think every parent's ever gone through that, and they know some are bad, some are not, and they ask parents, "Hey, what'd you do?" And it's like, "Oh, I did this." Like, "Oh, really? That's a pretty good idea. I'm gonna try it," and then it works for you. So, I think that's cool that you can actually have parenting. But nowadays, you also have groups. You know, you have like Facebook groups, you have like school now. So there's lots of things out there that help, right? If you want to go find it.
Yeah.
How about yourself, RJ? You have any
So
anything for
again,
this?
my kids are grown, right? My kids are adults. They
Yep.
now live on their own. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. So these are still our kids. Doesn't matter the age, but they're all phases of life that we have to go through. And there's been many phases through, the 20 some odd years I've been with my family. Um, in that time, like you say, they're all different stages with different expectations, new things that again, we will never have the book written on childhood because
Nope.
every child is different, every experience is different, and you may or may not be able to handle it. So,
Hmm.
and the reason I say that is because look, we're going to miss them when they're gone, right?
Yep.
They're going to your daughter's still a young age, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But eventually she's going to grow up to be a young woman. Now, look, my son he just turned 30 this year, but early this year he also moved out on his own. You know what
Yep.
I mean? That was a great experience. This is the challenge we've had for him. Like my daughter, I always knew she was going to go and move out on her own, or be able to handle living as a grown up by herself.
Yep.
My son, who, he was shy, he's not able to deal with all life
Hmm.
circumstances. When he moved out on his own, we were worried about what kind of challenge he may have, whether he's going to be able to handle it. But he's doing well on his own.
Good.
Now, the only thing I would say, so we miss them, right? Now
Of
that they're
course.
gone, we miss them. Our house is empty. And
Yep.
so we have to make efforts to connect with our kids. So there's that challenge, right? Our kids are gone,
Yep.
so we miss them. So
Excellent.
that whole experience, all of those 18, 20, 25 years that
It's
we've
a long
had with
time.
them is now, is
A
vanished,
memory.
right? So
It's a memory.
yeah, and now
Just a memory.
we wish we had them back in their younger years. So what I'm saying is enjoy the experiences, whatever
Yeah, for
they may
sure.
be,
Hmm.
because eventually they're going to grow up to be adults and live their own lives. So,
Yep.
but that's what we are preparing them for. And if they have a
Absolutely.
great experience because we had a great experience with them, there's more joy. There's more. There's still that family bond when they're gone.
Yep. Yep. For sure. Always. It's always there. You always talk to your mom and dad, even as you get older, right?
But some people don't, right? That's why I'm saying,
Oh,
what? It's all in how you look. If you follow these tips we've given people throughout this episode, when they do grow up to be this age, as my kids are,
yeah.
you will still be able to maintain that relationship because some people want to grow up and get away from their parents, right?
Yeah. True. So, ready for one more joke? This is kind of related to what you're talking about. It's kind of
Sure, let's
funny.
hear it.
Why did the mom keep a calendar?
Because time was going to run out eventually.
That's pretty good. Nice. Because she wanted to know how many days were left until the kids moved out.
Yeah. See, but is she looking at that in a good way or a bad way,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
As
it
in, I'm gonna miss
depends.
these kids when they're gone, or God, I can't wait to get rid of these kids.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. All right, RJ, thanks. I had a great time today. A little closing here. All right, super parents, you made it to the end of today's podcast episode. Remember, parenting is hard, but you're harder. You've got this, even on days when you don't feel like it. Okay. So thank you guys for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the
Uh-oh, that's not a good way to end.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I know what's going on here. How far did I get?
I don't even remember, honestly.
Okay. Well, remember, like, follow, hit the bell on YouTube, and leave a like and comment on Facebook if you're watching live. And if you watch replay, put a hashtag replay, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
and
Thanks, you,
and
for
keep
being here.
laughing, keep smiling, keep that joy going.
Absolutely. Remember, you're a superhero in disguise, parents. All right. Thanks. Have a good day.